Hey guys, what's up? John here, and I'm bringing you a video talking about the heroes after Avengers Endgame, because as some of you may know, in Avengers Endgame, the lineup for the superheroes have changed a bit, so I thought I'd let you guys know what has changed and what has stayed the same. But there will be major spoilers for Avengers Endgame in this video, so if you haven't watched the film, which is crazy at this point because it was so incredible, please turn off this video, because it's better to go into the film blind than not at all. So, as that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so first on our list is Iron Man. Now, I'm starting with him first because it was very emotional seeing what happened to him. Once again, spoiler alert, he died sacrificing himself to save the universe by destroying 2014 Thanos and his army. It was an incredible moment and it made me cry. So, as for Iron Man in this situation, it's easy. He's dead. The Russo brothers has even said, gone, that's it. You know, if Iron Man comes back, I hope it to be for like a little clip, maybe for Far From Home, maybe like a recording to Peter Parker from him. That would be a great moment. That would be really emotional. But other than that, I really hope Iron Man doesn't come back. And I know probably you're thinking, well, that's a bit mean. You know, Iron Man was such a great hero, and he was my favourite. He made Marvel great for me. He's been my favourite hero ever since I watched it when I was a kid. I mean, I remember going in to watch Iron Man, and I loved it. I loved him so much. So it's heartbreaking for me to see my favourite hero die. Not just, like, for example, my brother's favourite hero is Hawkeye, but he still sobbed at Iron Man dying. And like he's always said, I'm not a big fan of Iron Man, but it just shows how great the Russo brothers did with his death. And yeah, I hope they don't bring him back, maybe for a little clip in Far From Home, but other than that, if they leave him dead, which sounds a bit harsh now as I'm saying it, but if they leave him dead, then it kind of makes his death more meaningful. Now comes Captain America. Now, Captain America has been a big character for me, but seriously, Endgame made him such a great character. Over the past few Phase 3 films, a lot of my views on each character has changed drastically. But Captain America, he was always just a generic, he's strong, but he was always a great hero, and he kind of felt too generic when he was in these films, but I still loved him nonetheless. He was a great character. His shield was amazing. His fighting style was incredible, but once again, he was just a generic hero to me. Don't get me wrong, all three of his films were amazing, but Winter Soldier and Civil War really turned him into an incredible character, and every single Avengers film, he's been the guy who's the most righteous, if you know what I mean. Unfortunately, in Endgame, we saw his end, not by death, but we saw it in a form of old man Chris. Chris Evans, using CGI or whatever he did to make himself look old. His character of Captain America went through the quantum realm to return the stones and Mjolnir, which was an incredible scene. Yes, Captain America wielded Mjolnir, and that was probably one of my favourite scenes in the entire movie, and probably in the entire MCU. But that's what made Captain America feel so much better for me, the fact that he was worthy the whole time. And I knew he was worthy, I just didn't know when they were going to do it or if they were going to do it. So it's incredible that he did that. And when he went through the quantum realm to return the stone to Mjolnir, he never came back. But then he was sitting on a bench waiting for Bucky and Sam, and it was a great moment because Bucky and Sam were waiting. They were it kind of felt like the community's debate over who will be the next Captain America. And having them two characters stare off at Cap on a bench as an old man, they were kind of like looking at each other like which one's going to take up the mantle. And I think even though they didn't know Cap was going to give the shield to one of them, it kind of felt like that, and that's what made the moment incredible. But from now on, he's an old man. He's given the shield to Sam, which I was a bit off about at first because I really wanted it to be Bucky. But then again, you can't really give it to a Russian psycho killer, can you? So it kind of makes sense. And to be honest, Cap and Sam have a lot more in common. So they kind of feel like very similar characters. So yeah, it's good that Sam has the shield instead now. But for me, like I said, Cap, he's an old man. Either he'll come up somewhere else in the MCU or what, I don't know. But realistically, I think he's just going to live out the rest of his life. They may include him somewhere in the MCU, but he's quite old in thingy, so I wouldn't expect him to do it. I reckon he'd just rest, live his life, the rest of his life. And, one day, unfortunately, he'd have to die... die a peaceful death, and I think it'll be great for him because his character has gone through a lot of trauma. So going back and living his life with Peggy, and then ending up somehow in this reality, because that would have created an alternate reality. He's lived his life and he's been happy, and he's lived a great life, in all fairness. And it's really sad seeing him go, but I don't really see any point in them bringing him back other than for his funeral, which I think would be a really emotional moment to start maybe a Phase 4 film with, possibly even the the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show. But like I said, guys, it's opened. I mean, I reckon they could put Cap somewhere in there, and maybe like Sam goes to him to talk to him and for some advice and things like that, and that would be incredible. But his movie, I think Chris Evans' movie contract is done now, so that can all change. But we'll see, guys. We'll see when the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show comes out, and see if Chris Evans' Captain America plays a role in that. Now to Thor. Wow, this character has gone through a lot of changes since his first film. In his first film, I loved it. In Avengers, he felt just like a side character more than anything. But I still loved him in Avengers, the first one. Then, in Age of Ultron and Dark World, I lost interest in him because he was just so dull. There was no change to him. There was nothing new about him. He was just dull. And I feel like I'm not the only person saying that. Ragnarok completely turned the character around. I loved him so much. He was so funny. He was less Shakespearean. And he was just a great character. And yeah, losing his hammer, I didn't really care for Mjolnir, if I'm being completely honest. It was just a boring thing because it got too old for me. Then when he got Stormbreaker in Infinity War, I was so happy. It was such a cool weapon. And then when Thor newfound powers fused with Stormbreaker, he was an incredible character in Infinity War. And from Ragnarok, I think I loved him so much more. And then when Endgame came out, it kind of, for me, I just couldn't deal with the fat Thor. I think he should have somehow thinned out when he got struck by lightning to bring Mjolnir and Stormbreaker to him. But looking back and watching it for the fifth time, I really liked his character. I thought it was a great way to show how he has literally given up and how he doesn't want to be king anymore. And it's not him, he's not really a king. He feels more like a warrior. And I think where he is now, he's a great character. And seeing him with Mjolnir for even just a bit before handing it to Cap, that was really good. And I thought he was a great character, even though he'd given up on a lot of things. I think meeting his mom and saying goodbye properly was a good thing for his character. As for where he is now, he's gone with the Guardians, probably to Guardians 3. From a character's perspective, he probably did that because he doesn't want to be king. He's given Valkyrie the throne of Asgard, and he's just given up. He's like, you know what? I'm done with that. I want to be me. I want to do what I want. So he's gone with the Guardians to explore space and fight evil monsters and blah blah blah, which is great for his character. From a filmmaker's perspective, I think it's more because someone's got to fight Adam Warlock. The Guardians can't fight Adam Warlock alone, so Thor joining them was a pretty smart move. But yeah, that's it for Thor. He's gone to the Guardians. He's gone with the Guardians of the Galaxy, probably in their search for Gamora and to save the galaxy, rather than spending all his time on Earth, which I think is a great way of carrying on his character. Now, Black Widow is another Avenger who passed away in Avengers Endgame, which was really sad. Although she did sacrifice herself for the Soul Stone, making her death inevitable in a sort of way, similar to how Thanos had to kill Gamora to get the Soul Stone. Black Widow had to sacrifice herself in order for Clint Barton and Hawkeye to get the Soul Stone, making it possible for them to win in the end. Her character throughout the film was really driven. She knew that her job, being an Avenger, means save the world at all cost. And she feels like she failed. And to be honest, the Avengers gave her meaning. The being an Avenger gave her meaning. So she was given the opportunity to sacrifice herself for her family, and she chose to do so. It was really emotional, and I know it must have been hard on Clint to watch his best friend die right before his eyes. So yeah, that's where Natasha Romanoff is. She died at the hands of, well, let's say Red Skull, because he shouldn't. He's such a jerk. Why did he had to just let her go. He could have just said, oh, actually, no, here's the Soul Stone. But whatever, he has to be a jerk. As for the Black Widow movie, it's a prequel. So we've seen Natasha Romanoff's end, and hopefully the first film of Phase 4 will be the Black Widow movie, which means we get to see her beginning, which will be a great thing to see. Now, as for Clint Barton, he started the film off losing his family to the decimation, which was a really sad moment, and he ended up going round killing lots of different, I'd say, like baddie gangs, sort of like, just because he felt it was not right that Thanos took his family, who were innocent, and left people who work for criminal organizations. So he was kind of putting. He was kind of doing what Thanos did, but for the population that were sort of bad, basically, which meant that he killed loads of people, which was his story arc in the film. He's lost the most important thing to him, and when Black Widow comes, he's like, I'm going to join the Avengers, I'm going to do good, because she changes him. Then when Natasha sacrifices herself for the Soul Stone, he takes it. He's really upset. He's like a broken man, but he still fights. He has the Infinity Gauntlet at one point and then hands it over to Black Panther so that they can get it away from Thanos. He's not an essential part to the film, but I really liked his character in the film and seeing a darker side to him. As for where he is now, he may pop up in another Avengers film or any other film, to be honest. I would not mind seeing him again. He was a great character. I really loved him. But he is probably retired now, probably for good, but I want him to come back because he's one of the original 6 Avengers who's still alive. And yes, we're supposed to bring in the new generation, but we should also have the old generation. And that now we've lost 3 of the original 6, we may as well hang on to what we have. Now, I'm going to try and do 2 in 1. So here we have Ant-Man and War Machine. Now, these 2 characters, they're pretty much going to stay the same. War Machine may carry on helping the Avengers and maybe in the next Avengers movie. Ant-Man is obviously going to go off and do his 3rd film and possibly pop up in other movies, so like Avengers and things like that. Their characters may go into, a different direction for all I know, but at the moment, that's what it looks like. War Machine may get his own movie eventually, which will be pretty cool. But at the moment, both of their characters, they're going to carry on in the Avengers. Ant-Man may, obviously not be a complete member of the Avengers, but War Machine definitely will be. Now, I'm going to try and do another pair. So, Black Panther and Doctor Strange, these two are going to continue the same route as each other, to be honest. They may pop up in other Avengers films, but they're going to continue doing their second film, which is rumoured to be in phase 4, sorry. So Black Panther will get a sequel, Doctor Strange will get a sequel, and it may include different things that happened within the 5-year time gap introduced in Avengers Endgame. We don't entirely know where these characters will end up. Doctor Strange will probably carry on being Sorcerer Supreme, end up in a few, team-up movies. I think he might be in Spider-Man Far From Home to help Spider-Man with Mysterio. But other than that, their characters going to continue the same way. They're both going to be Avengers, and I'm sure they're both going to pop up in other Avengers films. T'Challa probably will go back to Wakanda and find out the throne's been taken by M'Baku, and maybe, or not even M'Baku, just no one, and he's got to sort out all the problems in Wakanda. And then I would love a Namor to attack Wakanda at its weakest, which will be an incredible thing to see, having two secret nations battle each other. So that's where I think these two characters are going to go. The same direction. They're going to do their own films and then come back for team-up movies and possibly an Avengers movie. Like Doctor Strange and Black Panther, Captain Marvel will continue with her sequel and her third film. I don't really see this character being a huge deal, even though she's the most powerful character in the Marvel universe. She may appear in another Avengers film, possibly Avengers 5 or whatever Avengers film, maybe in Guardians 3, I don't know, or even a Nova movie, but at the moment she's not going to be. I don't really see a huge development for this character and any big changes. Now, as for Peter Parker, he's more of a street-based hero, so he'll be in a lot of future films. He's going to do a sequel, which is coming out very soon, Far From Home, which will probably set up a Sinister Six battle in Spider-Man 3, or even this will introduce the Sinister Six. Spider-Man 3 will begin the Sinister Six, and then it's going to be a separate Sinister Six movie. We don't know. Amy Pascal has said that she's going to leave Sony, but she's going to stick around until the Spider-Man deal's done, but we don't know where the character's going to go from there. But I feel like he's going to be in a lot of different films because he's a big character. He's a huge Marvel character. Everyone knows who Spider-Man is, even if you're not a fan of Marvel. It's a big character, and I feel like it's going to go in so many different directions. I don't see it not going in any direction. So I feel like Peter Parker's Spider-Man is going to be a big deal. And especially since Iron Man's dead, he'll be trying to pick up the reins from him, but do it in his own way. Now comes Nebula and Gamora. Now, these two characters are interesting because they had a lot of development in Avengers Endgame, so it'll be interesting to see where their characters go. At the moment, I feel like Nebula will join the Guardians, helping Guardians 3, and their main purpose is to track down 2014 Gamora, because the Gamora that we know from our time that died in 2018 is dead. So having this other Gamora in our universe, she's missing at the moment, so the Guardians will probably try and find her, but then be attacked by Adam Warlock, blah. There will be a big villain or something that's bigger, so Adam Warlock will join. But at the moment, Nebula joining the Guardians, Gamora missing, but probably will join the Guardians eventually and fall in love with Peter all over again. Okay guys, that's the end of the video. Unfortunately, I couldn't get all of them in one video because apparently I waffle on so much. So what we're going to do is we're going to split them into two parts. I'll rush through the next one because where they're going is a lot smaller. Now, I've said where each of the original 6 Avengers are. I've said a few of the most important characters, but I'll do the rest later. And there are a couple of important characters in the next one, which I'll talk about. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe and put a comment down below, and let me know what you love about Avengers Endgame and how you want each of the characters to go, because what I said is what I've seen by rumors and facts and things like that. That's just what I think the characters will go through, but please let me know where you think the characters are going, because I'd like to know your opinion. So thank you all again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in part 2.